Okay, so let's talk about 2026. It's shaping up to be a really big year for Singapore, with some major shifts on the horizon. We're talking about everything from your retirement savings to your daily commute. We're going to break down all the key policy changes coming your way, and most importantly, what they actually mean for you. Let's dive in. These aren't just some abstract policies written on paper. We're talking about changes that will directly affect your monthly paycheck, the way you recycle your soda can, and even how you might travel over to Johor Bahru. So the big question is, are you really ready for what's coming? To make sense of everything, we've broken it all down into 4 key areas of your life. First, we'll tackle your wallet. Then, we'll move on to your daily habits, some new rules for safety, and finally, we'll look at what all this means for planning your family's future. All right, let's start with the one that, let's be honest, hits closest to home for all of us: our money. 2026 is bringing some pretty significant updates to CPF and even salaries for foreign workers that you'll definitely want to know about. Okay, first things first, we need to understand a key term here: the CPF monthly salary ceiling. So what is it? Put simply, it's the cap on how much of your monthly salary is used to calculate CPF contributions. If you earn more than this ceiling, anything you earn above that amount isn't subject to CPF deductions. For a lot of us, our whole salary is below the ceiling, but for higher income earners, this is a really big deal. Now, what's really important to know is that this isn't some sudden, out-of-the-blue change. It's actually the final step in a gradual increase that the government started way back in 2023. As you can see, the ceiling has been climbing steadily on its way to its final goal. And that final destination is $8,000. That's right, from January 1st, 2026, the CPF monthly salary ceiling will be raised to this new level. This officially completes the plan that was announced back in the 2023 budget. So, what does this actually mean for you? Well, if you earn $8,000 a month or more, a bigger chunk of your salary will now go into your CPF accounts. Now, that's great news for your long-term retirement savings, but it does mean your take-home pay each month will be a little bit smaller. It's a trade-off, really. And it's not just the salary ceiling that's changing. Other key CPF numbers are getting adjusted too. The basic healthcare sum for your MediSave account is going up. The full retirement sum is also rising to make sure your savings can keep up with the cost of living. On top of that, older workers will see their contribution rates go up, and CareShield life premiums and payouts will grow a bit faster. All these tweaks are really about strengthening our social safety net, especially as Singapore's population gets older. Okay, shifting gears just a little, but we're still talking about salaries. The minimum qualifying pay for foreign professionals who are renewing their passes is also going up. Starting January 1st, 2026, the minimum for employment pass holders will be $5,600 or $6,200 if they're in financial services. Then later in the year, from September 1st, the ASPass minimum will increase to $3,300 or $3,800 for those in finance. All right, enough about finances for a bit. Let's move on to the changes you'll actually see and feel in your day-to-day life. These are the shifts you'll experience every single day, from how you recycle your drink bottles to how you get around town. Get ready to see recycling in a whole new light. A brand new beverage container deposit scheme is coming, and the process is super simple. You'll pay a little 10-cent deposit when you buy a canned or bottled drink. Once you finish it, you just bring the empty container back to a return point, think of those reverse vending machines, and boom, you get your 10 cents back. Easy peasy. So when does all this kick off? Mark your calendars. The program officially starts on April 1st, 2026. And by July 1st, you'll start to see a special deposit mark on all the eligible drink containers. You're going to need that mark to get your refund, so definitely keep an eye out for it. And for all you commuters, your daily travel is getting a serious upgrade. Sometime in the first half of 2026, the Circle Line will finally become a complete circle, with 3 brand new stations. And for those living in the east, the Thompson East Coast and Downtown lines will connect at the new Sungai Bedok interchange, which should make getting around so much easier. And now, for the one so many people have been waiting literally years for. The RTS link to Johor Bahru is scheduled to be finished and running by the end of December 2026. Yes, you heard that right. After decades of talks and planning, taking the train across the causeway is finally about to become a reality. From physical connections to personal protection, let's move into our third section. In 2026, we're seeing some new rules come into play with one very clear goal: to keep you safer, both on the roads and in the digital world. So you might be asking, why the need for new rules? Well, this number kind of says it all. In 2024, there were 192,000 speeding violations recorded. That's a 10-year high. Speeding also contributed to 1 in every 3 fatal accidents, which is exactly why the government is stepping in with much tougher measures. So, from January 1st, 2026, the penalties are getting a whole lot stricter. Fines and demerit points are increasing across the board. But here's the real kicker. The biggest change is for the most serious speeders. If you're caught going more than 50 kilometers per hour over the limit, you'll get 24 demerit points. And what does that mean? It means an automatic, immediate suspension of your driver's license. No questions asked. But safety isn't just about our physical roads. The online world presents its own very real dangers, and that feeling of helplessness can be completely overwhelming. This quote really captures the awful emotional toll of online harassment, which is a problem a new initiative is trying to tackle head-on. And the solution is the new Online Safety Commission. It's set to be formed in the first half of 2026, and this body will have real teeth. It will have the power to help victims by getting harmful content, like non-consensual images, taken down from online platforms. This provides a really needed path for people to get help. Okay, for our final section, let's look ahead. These are the policies that are all about long-term planning. They're going to impact everything from how long we can work to the time we get to spend with our newborn babies and even our kids' experience in school. First up, for our senior workers. Starting July 1st, 2026, the official retirement age is going up by 1 year to 64. And in the same way, the reemployment age, that's the age employers have to offer reemployment to eligible workers, will also go up by a year to 69. This is all part of a bigger, long-term plan to eventually raise the retirement age to 65 by the year 2030. And this is some huge news for new parents. Shared parental leave is getting a major boost. For kids born after April 2026, parents will have a total of 10 weeks of leave that they can share between them. That is a massive jump from the 6 weeks that will be available in 2025. And finally, here's a change that's going to affect the next generation directly. After being implemented in primary schools, the ban on using personal mobile phones during school hours will be extended to all secondary school students, starting in 2026. The idea here is to help students cut down on distractions, focus better in class, and hopefully encourage more actual face-to-face social interaction. So, when you put it all together, from boosting our retirement funds and making public transport better to creating safer roads and stronger support for families, you start to see a picture emerge. All these changes are really just pieces of a much larger puzzle, and they're all aiming for a Singapore that's more financially secure, better connected, and more socially resilient. The real question is, how do you think these shifts are going to shape the nation we all live in?